Hi everybody, today we are going to be making pizza.
So why make pizza at home? Because we like it way more than ordering pizza. You can pick your own high quality ingredients, make it healthier, and it's way more fun.
So let's start with the dough. So here we have 4 cups of all-purpose flour. We have about a cup of milk that's heated for a minute, so a little bit hotter than lukewarm. We have 2 tablespoons of oil. You can use any kind of oil that you'd like. Today we're just using canola oil. 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 tablespoon of sugar, and then we'll use 2 teaspoons of the yeast. All right, so I'll go ahead and start adding.
So now I'm adding the 4th cup of flour, the oil, the sugar, salt, and the yeast.
Okay, so next we're going to start by kneading it. You actually add the milk in stages. So we'll mix what we have so far. We're using a stand mixer here, but you can also do it by hand. And we're using the dough hook attachment.
It's best to add milk or water in stages, and that way you can avoid lumps and control the consistency.
If your dough is sticking to the edges, you can actually just use a spoon to kind of bring it down. Scrape down the edges with your spoon. And I'm using a lower speed, but you can continue to increase the speed as you go as well. Okay. Because our dough is looking a little bit dry, we're going to add half a cup of some lukewarm water into the mixture.
All right, so we need a little bit more.
And see, now the dough is coming together a bit better.
And there you go. It's coming together nicely.
I'll put a little oil in my hand so that the dough doesn't stick to my hand, and then I'll pat it down into a nice ball here. Okay. And now our dough is ready. So I'm going to cover it up with saran wrap. So next we're going to let our dough sit for a while. Yeast doesn't need oxygen. So yeah, what you want to do is you want to actually put your saran wrap over your dough here to cover it, so you can kind of reduce all of the exposure to air. So just going to tuck the saran wrap around the dough so that there's no air holes. And then we're going to take a small plate and we're going to put it on top of the dough here. And this is creating just like a nice airtight seal so that our dough can rise. Okay, we're going to let our dough rise for 2 hours, and then we're going to do a second kneading in 2 hours, and we'll let it rise for another 2. Go. All right, let's see how the dough is rising.
Whoa.
Wow. Should I take it out? Wow, it's looking good. So now we'll knead it one more time in the mixer. There we go. Now it's properly kneading. All right, look at that. There's some perfect looking pizza dough here. Okay, so now we will cover it one more time. So same thing here, you want to get it a little bit airtight. Okay. And then we will put the plate on it again. And cover it once more. All right. And now we'll let it sit for 2 more hours.
All right, it's been 2 hours for the second rise, and look how big it got. It's all the CO2 the yeast released. So now I'm going to pass the pizza dough over to my brother-in-law in Chicago, and he is going to make the pizza in his new kitchen. So as you can see here, he is just kneading the dough by hand into 2 big round pizzas. So he presses it down to expand it. And you have to make sure that whatever you're actually making the pizza on has some flour on it so that the dough doesn't stick. He uses his hands to actually expand the dough in a circle evenly. He tosses it in the air, spins it around. And he keeps on doing this, swirling it and getting it to the correct shape evenly until it's as big as he wants it to be. So now he's going to transfer it to the pizza tray. So he first coats the tray with oil to make sure that once the pizza is done, it doesn't stick. And then he reshapes it to make some of the thicker edges that will be super delicious crust after it's cooked. And now he's going to put his homemade pizza sauce on there. So we'll cover that in a different video. So make sure to subscribe to Pravins Cuisine YouTube channel so you can get all the latest updates of new videos and learn how to make pizza sauce. So now he'll put cheese on it. So this is Chicago style. We usually like to have the cheese right on top of the sauce and then all of the toppings on top. So as you can see with homemade pizza, you can put whatever toppings you want. So this is a vegetarian one. So Andy's putting some broccoli, yellow peppers, onions on one side, and the other side is going to have jalapenos, mushrooms, and really whatever he wants. This is why I like homemade pizzas. You can put whatever toppings you want, and you don't have to just pick 1 or 2. You can do whatever you like. All right, vegetarian pizza is done. So now I'll put this one aside so we can do the second pizza. And this one, Andy's going to make a barbecue pizza. So he'll use Sweet Baby Ray's, which is our favorite barbecue sauce. And this is instead of using pizza sauce. And then he'll top it with cheese. And next he's putting barbecue chicken. And these are barbecue boneless chicken thighs that he used the same barbecue sauce after putting a dry rub of salt and hot ground chili pepper. And then some sliced red onions and jalapeno peppers to go on top. And he's ready to bake it. So Andy is cooking these pizzas on a super high temperature oven. It's 550 degrees Fahrenheit. And this takes 10 minutes to cook, and it makes the pizza super crispy. If you want a less crispy pizza, you can cook it at 375 degrees for 22 minutes. All right, it's looking good. Andy's ready to harvest it. Super crispy. And here he's going to take it right out of the oven. It looks so delicious. And as you can see here, it's super crispy crust. It's really holding its shape well. The dough isn't falling everywhere. It's super crispy. And he's putting it on the cutting board. So one way, if you can tell the pizza is good, is when Andy cuts it and takes out a slice and you hold it up. The pizza itself stays straight. It doesn't fall. And that's how you can tell that it holds its crisp. Looks super good. So, and that's how you make homemade pizza. We made the dough from scratch, the pizza sauce from scratch, and picked all of our own toppings to make a super delicious pizza. And you can do it at home yourself too. So hope that you enjoyed this recipe, and stay tuned for more recipes from Pravins Cuisine. Like I said, subscribe to our YouTube channel.